Okay, I'm about to print on this. Now I'm going to try to print on here. Now I have been printing out some of these sort of shark clips and dinosaur clips for somebody. This has got paper glue stick on. That's what's basically on this borosilicate glass here. And this has been left. So I'm taking a bit of a risk because this has been printed on a few times, doing these shark clips and dinosaur clips. I'm going to try print. It's pretty rough, but it's going to be, I think it's okay for the print I want to do. It's a prototype sort of first iteration anyway. So this is what I'm calling a pipe optical side-on sensor box. I'll put the details, well, the title down below in a way. The idea here is to actually have a Bowden tube going all the way through the side of a smallish box, pretty light tight. I'm not going to say 100%, but pretty light tight. It'll have an optical end stop sensor in there. Now there'll be no break in the Bowden tube. You just go straight through and straight through the gap in the between the sort of emitter of the optical end stop and the receiver. But as the filament's going through that, it should hopefully impact the light. So it's going to have to be a clear sort of Bowden tube that's going through there. And obviously if the filament runs out, there'll be no filament in there. The infrared signal will go from the emitter to the receiver on the optical end stop, and that will trigger the ramps, and the ramps will say, hey, we've run out of filament here, let's stop the print, and basically move the head out the way. Oops, sorry about this. Seem to be having a lot of problems with my tripod. Oh, it looked a bit dark. I haven't even got my other LED switched on. So I'm printing out both the lid and the body part here in one print. Body part, the lid part is here at the front, and the sort of body part, which is main, like box in a way, is behind that. Now actually I'm printing day glow ABS here, so you know there is light impact of some sort maybe. I don't know, but this is just a prototype, just to see how well parts fit together. I have not got my optical end stops yet, and I have not got my Bowden clear tubing. Now it's going to have to be pretty clear tubing because we want the infrared sort of light to pass through it. This is a normal sort of Bowden tubing, pretty white. So that's very opaque to any sort of light there, infrared or otherwise, so far as I can imagine. So that's why I'm going to be looking for, well, I'm waiting for some, hopefully it's going to be clear, pretty clear tubing, Bowden tubing, that will pass through between, well, in the slot between the emitter and the receiver on the optical end stop basically. So as I say, the filament will go through that tube just as normal, and obviously that will block the light. And because it's actually going through a tube, it's going to be probably better for things like flexible filaments and such like. Well, as far as I can tell, that is adhering, even though this Elmer's glue stick has been used quite a few times and it's a bit rough. As I say, it doesn't matter in this case being a bit rough because generally it comes out quite smooth even though the Elmer's glue stick is rough on the bed. So this is the stuff I've got on the bed. It's disappearing purple, so you put it up, well I put on generally cold, quite thickish, going one way, the other way and sometimes even diagonally. I wait for the colour purple to vanish and then I go to print. And sometimes I can print 3 or 4 times, maybe even 5, before I want to wipe it off with a damp cloth, let the bed dry and do that again. I think this is about 1 hour print. So I'm going to put this on time lapse a bit, just now. Let's just watch it a little bit on normal speed for a few more moments. So this is like the sense, the run out of filament or like a break in the filament, using sort of marlin and ramps. I just wanted to actually move over to the body part, so it's doing the lid part now, printing that part, and now it's going on to the body part. Okay, let's get this onto time lapse. Normal speed on the video, it's about halfway through, 38 minutes. Still, can you see those black things there, black bits of almost filament? I think it must be actually dropping off the hot end, thinking about it. That one is almost going like an angle, it's not going in the same direction as the filament. Anyway, so this part slots into here. The Bowden fit and see the curve there, this will have a curve on here, this is like upside down printed. And the Bowden tube should fit through the hole there, with the optical sensor obviously on the inside and the Bowden tube going between the emitter and receiver of the end stop basically. So it's going to be, as I say, a pretty clear Bowden feeding tube. I've got one on order. Hopefully, I've been let down by one eBay seller who says it was translucent, but it was, well, as white as this one, so it was not translucent. Well, there we are, finished. 1 hour spot on, isn't it? Well, actually 1 hour 28 seconds to be precise, according by the display here. See that big black on there. I think it must be actually falling off the nozzle. It's been some time. A bit black also. Need to skate around there. So basically this lifts up, goes on here, tube passes through. Let's see how well it get off the bed and see how well it fits together. This is like one of my sort of Bowden feeding fittings. Put in there to, that's like a test piece to see what it does, and that goes in there very well. I'll put a link about this down here. Anyway, I've been filing this a bit, and I certainly do recommend these diamond files, the Cedar Diamond. These are quite cheap, even though they're Cedar Diamond. You get various shapes, flat, round, triangular, semi-round, etc. So I've sort of been filing it a little bit using those. So basically, make sure this is going in the Bowden tube sort of, well, you put the circuit board in there, and it's almost got two things, like an emitter and a transmitter to send the beam across. So that goes either side. Obviously you want a clear Bowden tube. Something like this is not really good. I've got, well, hopefully I've got one on order. I did order one and I got let down by the eBay seller because they sent me a white tube instead of like a translucent one or a clear one. Now this can be, especially when I'm on camera. Yep. So that goes, once the circuit board's in there, wires out here, that basically goes on a Bowden feeding tube. So it's a complete Bowden feeding tube. There's no break in the Bowden tube, it's a clear one. And hopefully the LED, so infrared light, I think there's infrared they use, passes over, can go through the clear tube. And if there's filament in, obviously that will be enough hopefully to block it with the tube as well. And if the filament's broken, the light hopefully will pass through. I haven't been able to test this because I am waiting for some optical end stops. This hole, as I said, is for another piece of clear possible Bowden tube to go down, because I think these circuit boards for these optical end stops do have an LED on. So I'm waiting to test this. That fits on there reasonably well after it's been like filed down, particularly the edges. Well, in my case the edges on those two, be very careful because this is quite thin plastic. Yeah, that does clip on there a bit. So it's got a couple of notches either end to say get something under and pry this off if you need to, but be careful because, as I say, that is very thin plastic in parts there. So I'm happy with that. I'll have to wait until I get my optical end sensor and see how well it actually works in real life. Also I have to get my clear Bowden tube.